about a boy. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who was the ugliest of them all? Why do no potential dates ever come? And on the worst days, they take up a place of them more like. Why am I even alive, you know? No one likes me, people barely love me, and can't blame them. Look at this body. I mean, I'm fat, flabby, disgusting. Prom's coming up, nobody's calling me. And again, who can blame them? I mean, look at me, it's obvious. I'm not what I need to be for anybody to want me. Now this is the mental CD. For quite some time now, it's been left on repeat. But the suffering occurred in silence because this wasn't a she, but a he. An athlete. Tall, not particularly, he was normal, forgettable scenery. And in a world where the only thing that gets noticed is being either good enough to be in with the in crowd or bad enough to be labeled a bad boy perhaps, being normal amounts to nothing but being more than a nameless face in a crowd. And he figured had to be the body. People respond to visual stimuli like no other, and people respond to visual stimuli like no other, and most go by the notion that the value of the gift inside the box actually has some correlation to how pretty the packaging is. And his was nothing spectacular. Blame this superficial culture where we judge books by their covers, barely getting past page 1. So one book after another gets deemed not worth reading because of this notion that bland packaging actually has some correlation to the beginning and the ending, when in actuality, it can be the greatest story ever told. But he just wanted to be the book that someone would hold, so figured it had to be the cover. Change the cover, and people want to get past page 1. So now the mission has begun. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, just trying to reinvent the feel of an insignificant life. And this is day 1, because one day he would matter. One day he wouldn't be considered fatter, so to the gym he traveled daily, nightly, lifting like his life depended on it, relished in the soreness, and just knew that it was all going to pay off. Now, testosterone, ambition, determination. What a combination. History has shown us that such a cocktail has been known to bring about the ruin of a nation, but this boy isn't just showing about history, just his story, just his glory, and he's willing to push the boundaries of reality to get it. So just imagine the lengths he'll push his body. You see, he been listening to 50. And 50 say, respect comes from admiration of fear. When you got a body like his, they do both. He would have been happy with just one or the other. Physical changes, not raising the eyebrow of father or mother because they're expected and subtle. I mean, he was at that age where things change, you know, height, voice, and body, right? But they can't see the lies, and they can't see the drive, and they can't see the look in his eyes, nor understand how or why he's up to the wee hours at night. More push-ups, more crunches, after an hour already spent in the gym. He ran those 2 miles home. No need for the parents to come get him. No need to worry because the grades ain't slipping, which is exactly the intention, because the last thing this mission needs is any unwanted attention. This mission is top secret, but not impossible. And working up the nerve to ask the hottest chick in the 12th grade to the prom is no longer improbable. The problem is, before any of that ever happens, he'll find himself in the hospital. See, no one told him that the more you train, the more rest you need, and trying to keep up this facade of grades and schoolwork and normalcy will get to you eventually. No one told him, not even that pill pusher in the local gym, that those supplements aren't necessary. Testosterone and puberty was the only thing he needed. Most importantly, no one told him that mattering doesn't matter. That those people he was so trying to prove himself to, even that girl he so desperately wanted to find him cute, were themselves just flawed characters with flaws in their character. No one told them that comparison is the mother of all inadequacies, and the only thing that should matter ever is being the best you that you can be. No one told them because he was a boy. And in this country, boys are never allowed to appear weak. You don't cry out, ask for help. Life is, travel from boyhood to manhood is like a puzzle with no instruction manual. You kind of just figure that shit out. Those pitfalls you encounter, well, you got to be strong enough to pull yourself out. Now, this is the story about a boy. Anywhere in this place we call America, not only our young women, but our young men need the self-esteem built up and help removing their self-doubt. If not, we watch with horror as they crash, burn, self-destruct, and those embers that represent their bright futures slowly flicker out.
Isn't always a poem, because I don't know how to put I let my rent go to get you that perfect gift for Christmas, even though I don't believe in Christmas, nor do I really believe in gods and religions, but I believe in you. So I suck it up and I go to church every now and again when you ask me to. Yeah, I don't know how to put that in a stanza. Romance in a poem is fine wine, candlelight dinners, great cuisine. Romance in real life is you and I in bed, in sweats most nights, with Kool-Aid and lean cuisine. And most nights you're not in sexy lingerie, hell, you're just in a t-shirt, whatever it is you used to wrap your hair with. I gotta reach over you and pry the remote out your hand, or I'm stuck watching the Law and Order marathon till 1 a.m. But it does make those nights you just do decide to do it up special. 4th of July special, you bring the heat, and you like my dynamite. You make it ball drop, rockin' New Year's Eve Times Square special. You make it poetic. And in those nights, art really is being imitated by life. But unless this really is New Year's Eve or the weekend, chances are we gotta go to work in the morning. So we're gonna keep this going until you get yours, I get mine, hopefully in that order. Wrap your hair and kiss me night. Now, if our life was a poem, you'd be the only woman I ever look at and think about. In real life, I look at tons of women when you're not around and think about, you probably don't want to know what I think about. But what I will tell you is, after I think about all that, I think about you. And how they might have bigger ass or bigger boob measurements, but they can never measure up to you. And while poetically I never cheat because it's the right thing to do, real life I don't cheat because while I can see myself fucking them, I can never see myself waking up to them like I do you. You're the one.
He brought it back.
Let's stay real. Let's stay real.
You're the template that every other woman gets compared to, and I love to lie and say maybe, just maybe, once or twice I haven't written a poem to get the attention of some pretty young lady in the crowd, but the cool thing is for us to become us, I never had to. See, you knew me before the stage, back in the old days when I had those old ways, and after seeing what probably was a form of my own self-hate, instead of running away, you stayed, and you prayed. And you helped me to fall in love with myself before allowing me to fall in love with you in that way. Now that's real. It's love. Real love, not exactly the thing that poems are made of. And I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could probably make one up. But when it comes to you and I, the best poem I can think of is still just one word long. Us. And I know that's not as sexy as me saying I love it when you lay on my chest and we don't fall asleep until we synchronize heartbeats. But it does encompass what I feel when I think about what we've done, how far we've come, how you still love me in spite of where I come from, how you even given me the courage to get up and say this non-love love poem in a lovingly non-Tom Cruise on Oprah's couch. So, I'll take it. The love gets more ramen noodles than steak. The love gets more, let's just get a movie from Redbox and let's movie star. Love that's, let's just get your cab together. A limousine. more of our real lives. It's just you and me. And honestly, I think it's cool if that's nothing like something we find in poetry.